If you're like me and think Dark Souls 2 is a great game... Okay. But still frustrating enough that you want to get through it as quickly as possible, then this video is for you, as I will show you how to complete Dark Souls 2's Color of the First Sin in under 2 hours. Before I get into the video, the route I'm playing is restricted any percent run, where we'll be beating the Rotten 5 times. In the description below, you will find everything you need for the run, including save organizer and test tool. Alright, let's get into the video. Alright, so first thing you need to keep in mind, although it's quite obvious, is the stamina management. So do not let your stamina run out, because there's the few seconds buffer before you can actually start running again. After renaming your character, choose a bandit class and bonfire ascetic as your gift, and that's it. Let the run begin. Now we're two-handing the weapon all the time, so there's no point of keeping it on one hand. Run straight to Majula, jump from the ledge, and run to the Emerald Herald. Speak to her once, light the bonfire, and head to the Forest of Fallen Giants. Now while waiting for this gate to open, equip your Estus Flask, your Dark Sign, and you can also just remove your armor if you want at this point, and later on you should, but I tend to keep it during the Forest of the Fallen Giants section, just in case. Dig out the soul from the corpse and Honva bone, and run to the second bonfire. Now usually only this one guy follows you, and I don't know, I usually just take him down. And now I'm quickly trying to equip the soul and pop it immediately at the same time while speaking to this guy. Use those 200 souls to buy the firebomb. This is actually quite specific, the angle where you need to hit it, so try to look carefully how I'm doing it. First it took like multiple attempts for me, but nowadays I can get it every time. Keeping in mind I am not the world record holder speedrunner, I'm just the guy who decided to, okay, I'm gonna speedrun this game. I think I'm doing pretty okay. So you can do Pursuer skip if you know how to. I don't know, I never got it to actually work, so I'm killing the last giant and then Pursuer. Last giant should not be a problem. You will build your weapon and whack the shit out of his feet. And immediately after the last blow, the killing blow, you have the Dark Sign. So in that way, you don't have to use Homeward Bones, and also you will get your soul from this dude. Now immediately run to Pursuer. For some reason I usually fuck up this, but this time I managed to get it to work. So stand next to this cart, dodge his attack, run the straightest line you possibly can to the ballista and shoot the hell out of him. And immediately Homeward Bone. And don't mess it up like I did. Now I usually tend to use the Soul of the Last Giant and Soul of a Pursuer here. You don't have to, but I just want to buy those extra life gems and a couple extra human effigy just in case. But what you should buy is 7 firebombs and the Leningrad's key, and then warp to Majula. Now first things first, run and open the door for the blacksmith, then run to the cat, buy the cat ring. And you should buy actually 6 Homeward Bones, but I usually buy 3, because I can pick up 3 extra from your way to the gutter. But in case, you just need to have 6 Homeward Bones, one way or another. And then you need 2 Alluring Skulls, but I usually buy a few more, just in case. Just be careful with how much you're buying things. Everything is calculated really carefully, so I can actually buy extra, because I'm popping the souls. Unequip your armor and equip all of the rings you have. And then let's jump down to the gutter. I usually pick up these poison moss from here, just in case, for the Black Gulch, and I get 1 extra Homeward Bone from here. So why I'm doing these extra purchases and extra item is just to make sure that I have everything I need to complete run safely but fast. Kill this crystal lizard from here. I usually fuck this up every time. If it drops down, kill it, but be careful because those idiots are coming. Pick up the 3 Homeward Bones that I spoke of. Make your way down, and when you reach the gutter, then now pay attention what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna run straight with this angle between these 2 little planks. I will drop straight on top of this, jump left from here, pick up this fragrant branch of yore, jump back, avoid these hollows, run upstairs, and watch carefully. You have to jump with this angle the very last minute to get over the gap and on top of the building. Now just across the bridge, you can actually jump down to right from here, but I usually just fuck it up, so I'm not doing it. And then again, look at the angle. Jump angle is really important, otherwise those spitting pillars will hit you and you will drop down. Get these dung pies from here, there's 3 of them, they're really important. And then drop down. Before reaching Gulch, pick up this fragrant branch of yore. And take this bonfire. Remember to equip the fire bombs and the dung pie. Now this bonfire is not necessary. You can just run straight to the end of the Black Gulch and take the bonfire from there. But somehow I found it easier, for me at least, while practicing, to take this bonfire and avoid the invaders coming. So what we're doing now, we're avoiding these spitting pillars. I actually got invaded by Dark Spirit Fallen. That means that I actually have to die, because you will see later. From here and jump down where the two giants are, because we need to get the DLC key from them. Equip your bow and shoot one of the golems. I usually try to shoot the right one because it's somehow easier, and let them come close to you. And usually the left giant comes closer. Throw all the 3 dung pies at him to make him poisoned, and then use all of your fire bombs to finish him off. Now, this is really important. Immediately when he dies, you have to save and quit. Otherwise, you will not get the key. When you come back, warp bone the hell out of here and warp to Majula from the bonfire. Now this is the reason why I killed myself. If the invader comes, you just have to get rid of it one way or the other. Usually just dying is the fastest way, so that you can do the save and quit here. Otherwise you're not able to do it. Now when we reach Majula, we should actually speak to Emerald Herald here. I forgot it, but you can do it later. Buy rapier and 4 titanite shards, and upgrade the rapier to +4. And then let's run to the Shaded Woods. Pick up these life gems and Howard bones. Release the woman and pull the lever. Then just run around in a circle to avoid these crazy creatures. Oh, by the way, if you roll to the barrels, they explode. I just found out. When the gate opens on the next gate, usually you are safe here, so you can heal if necessary, and continue to the next bonfire. So when you get to the foggy area of the forest, stick to your left side and run to Verngal. I was really unfortunate to get invaded by the Dark Spirit Fallen again, actually twice in this area. When you come to Verngal, you pop the soul of a giant, and now you should have 15,000 souls by 10 gold pine resin from Verngal. Then you can just dark sign back and warp to Majula, or die like me. This is one of the reasons why I bought the human effigies, so if I die multiple times, I can actually just get the health back. The last thing to do is to get the DLC, so jump down and pick up the Dragon Talon. You can dark sign back to Majula and then warp to Black Gulch. Okay, now we have to reach the second bonfire. You can basically ignore the woodland child and the hand creature creeping around the corner. Just wait for this guy to stand up, kill him, and light up the bonfire and run straight to Rotten. Now Rotten is pretty simple. Best strategy I found was to hit him a couple times and then run back and see what he's gonna do. That way you can actually avoid pretty much every attack. If you're comfortable enough, you can stay close to Rotten all the time and just roll through his attacks. Just remember to avoid the AoE. This is a fight what you need to do 5 times during this run, so I really recommend you to learn the fight. Because when you're doing it NG +4 or NG +5, what is it? It's gonna one-shot you every time, so practice is the key. After Rotten, reach the DLC. After the first bonfire, run past these enemies and watch carefully what I'm doing. I am turning and rolling to this pillar whilst dropping down, so I can safely land on the cliff. That area is actually avoidable by one skip, which I'm really poor of doing, but I can show you how it's done. Hey, no, yes! Oh! Hit this pillar once and then roll. Remember to roll, not jump, to this platform. Light the second bonfire and our journey continues. Usually if you don't try to run on this bridge, you will avoid the fire. I don't know why I choose to run there. Shoot an arrow to this pressure plate, then turn around and shoot one in here, then shoot the second in here, pick up the soul of a great hero from here, and then shoot the pressure plate one last time and run through the rotating door. Turn right and run until you drop down from a hole. Turn left and left again when you drop down. Avoid the creatures. Run up the stairs, up the ladder, and from the chest you will find Flynn's ring. So the Flynn's ring increases your physical attack the lower your equip load is, so that's why we are naked the whole run. Equip the ring, drop down, turn right, then left and drop down the hole again, but this time go right. And here we need Alluring Skulls, so draw one Alluring Skull to this bridge so the sorcerers will ignore you. Because I buy extra skulls, I usually try to throw one somewhere to avoid these. Unfortunately, I fucked it up pretty bad this time, but I managed to survive. You actually don't even need to throw it, but I try to be like extra careful. Now, you need to get that item from this room. Try to lure these guys somewhere. There's a key you need to progress in the DLC. Run around until it's safe to homeward phone away. Now, let's run back to the building, and this time the dragon will not be shooting the fire and killing those two knights. The best strategy is to stick to the right side and while they're charging, roll through them to the left. Now, open this door with the key you picked up, throw one Alluring Skull there, because the knights are following you, I usually try to throw one here if I have extra to distract the sorceress, and then we take the ladder up. Now this is a funny thing. To get rid of the invader, just light the bonfire and run straight to the pit. You will roll on the side safely, and then the invader has been banished. Homeward bone immediately when you can, and from that bonfire, run past the pit to the Cave of the Dead. Okay, so now there's 2 items you need to get. Turn left and drop down to this hole. Just actually turn left and go past this knife to get this bonfire ascetic. And try to avoid these guys. Run back past this pile of I don't know what to get the bright bucks, and then immediately homeward bone away. You can actually do this in which order you want, but I somehow found this to be a little bit safer. Now you should actually warp to Forest of the Fallen Giants, but I accidentally warped to Majula. But in any ways, pop the Soul of a Great Hero and Soul of the Rotten, buy Cestus from the merchant, all the 3 bright bucks, and then you should speak to him to get the Covetous Silver Serpent Ring. And I usually speak to him a couple more times to get him to move to Majula, so I can buy some life gems if needed. This is not mandatory though. Now, level up. Use level Vigor to 14 and rest to Entrance. In the best case scenario, Entrance should be 37, but I packed something up and I only get it to 35, but that's enough. I used the rest of the souls to buy some life gems, and now let's go back to Black Gulch, and we have to fight Rotten 4 more times. Remember to wear the Covetous Silver Serpent Ring, which I did not. That's actually a quite important thing to remember to do in order to reach that 1 million soul memory. So remember to burn the bonfire ascetic on the bonfire, and you're not using bright buff yet. We are using only bright buff for the Rotten 3, 4 and 5. Use the gold pine resin before you head into the boss arena and beat the Rotten once again. Immediately homeward bone back to the bonfire. Once more burn bonfire ascetic. And this time, before exiting the little tunnel, use the bright buck because you cannot use it when there's an invader. Again, use gold pine resin and beat the Rotten, and rinse and repeat this 2 more times. Once this is done, warp to Majula to level up. So use all of the souls you have in your inventory. Level up Vigor to 18, Endurance to 50, Strength to 40, Dexterity to 40, and Adaptation to 10. Because I didn't wear the Covetous Silver Serpent Ring for the first fight, I didn't quite get the souls I wanted. So I actually just removed 1 point of Endurance and put it on the adaptation, but this is enough. So next up would be Drangleic Castle. Beat the knights to get the golems to open the door for you and reach the first bonfire. Now run to the Dragon Riders. So here the strategy is simple. No gold binders or bright bucks. Immediately when you go through the fog gate, shoot the archer down. Let this guy come closer to you, avoid his attack, and then deal with the archer first. And then there's only 1 Dragon Rider left for you to fight. Light the bonfire and then just make the detour to lower the elevator. And this is quite simple. First, beat the ghost, then deal with the first headless assassin and lure the second one, the golem. Once the elevator has descended, take the elevator up to get the key to King's Passage, or bone back to bonfire. So I'm already wearing Cestus because this is the weapon we're gonna use for the Looking Glass Knight. Fight is pretty straightforward. Just run towards him, he will jump over you, use the gold pine resin, and then deal with the knight. After the fight, you can equip your rapier back and then the Shrine of Amana bonfire. Okay, so Shrine of Amana. What can I say? I really don't have any safe strategy through this, but I will give you the safest strategy I found. It is not even close to speedrunning, but I found myself dying here all the time. So if you wanna practice it safest way, this is probably gonna be it. So first you need to just avoid all of these guys and run through the first cave to the second bonfire. And this is where the fun begins. So first things first, I'm gonna deal with this dude and then this dude over here. Luckily you can two-shot mostly everyone. I actually try to take out everyone. I'm gonna play really carefully here, not even trying to be fast. I'm gonna kill the lizard as well. You can one-shot them, take out this dude, and then this dude, and last but not least, this one. Okay, we're about halfway through. My heart was pounding and palms were sweating so much at this point. Beat this guy. Then you can actually just go to the left. You will be safe here, you can kill the lizard. And then this knight over here. You can usually 2 or 3 shot the knights as well, so that's good. Next is this guy. So avoid this knight and deal with the sorcerer first. Take your time, don't rush anything. Try to lure only one of these guys, but usually it will not succeed because they notice you quite at the same time, but just 2 of them will be no problem. And that's it. At this point I recommend you to take off the flint because these mushroom guys. Remember to take the bonfire, then deal with this big fella. It will be no problem, you can 3-shot him. So we will get the key to the embedded from this dude, and that will be the weapon for the rest of the run. remember to take the Undead Crypt bonfire. With this shield dude, you just need to wait for him to move, and then just run past all of these sorcerers. Now this dude who's speaking to you will sell human effigies if you need them at some point, like just in case. And now equip your bow. Run approximately this far and shoot just a little bit over the left guy, and you should make them to turn around. Then you can run past them and don't need to wait for them to move. At this point, you should equip the key of the embedded. Just run on the right side. Now immediately when you get to the boss room, use the gold pine resin and the bright bug if you have time. Usually you just need to wait Wellstad to make his first move and run away in order to use the bright bug. Once you use the both, beat the shit out of Wellstad. What you really want him to do is the stab animation, because it gives you a lot of time to perform whatever needed. The stab animation is also super easy to dodge. You just a little bit walk on his right side and you can get easily 2 or 3 hits in. Once you have beaten the Wellstad, go and fetch the King's Ring and home and board out of here. At this point you should actually warp to Shaded Woods, but I warp to Majula to buy some human effigies and life gems. You don't have to do it, but you can if you want. Remember, when you're practicing, it's always good to be a little bit extra careful. Once you manage to get attempts in and few runs completed, you will get more comfortable with living on the edge. And we have to reach Aldia's Keep. You don't have to take this bonfire, but I will because I learned from my mistakes, and then reach Guardian Dragon. So I actually use the bright bug here because I just went to buy more of them, but normally you wouldn't need them. Now we all know that Guardian Dragon is heavily dependent on the RNG, how much he's gonna actually fly. I had pretty okay RNG in this fight, though I did get hit by him twice and almost died, but in the end I got the job done. From one dragon to another. When you have reached the Dragon Shrine bonfire, the fun really begins. I still don't have any clue how to go through this, and I am not confident of running through the area. But what I found out is that with this sword-wielding giant, you can just run towards him and he usually misses you, even if he's doing his combo. But just, you know, be careful with him. Go through the doors, and here you should heal yourself full if you're missing health. This area, I don't know how to deal with these guys, really, I can be honest. But I usually just run towards these last two and then turn around and see what they're doing and react to that. Usually they just demolish me, but this time I survived, as you can see, and the Ashen Mist Heart is ours. Immediately Dark Sign back and warp to Forest of the Fallen Giants. Now there is actually a skip to get quickly to the Giant Lord, but it's really hard to pull off. I haven't practiced it enough, so I'm using the original route. But I'll show you how to do the skip with the step back, because I don't want to drop down. I want to do this again. Okay, so if I do this. Okay, maybe, yes! Once you're in the memory, run past the giants like normally. You hug this one pillar here, and here you have time to cast the gold pine resin and extra bright bugs if you have them. You should at least one save for the last boss, wait for the fire, and then deal with the giant. Once the Lord is on his knees, Dark Sign immediately back to bonfire and warp to Drangleic to face the last boss. Okay, as I mentioned, you should have at least one gold pine resin and one bright bug here, because you need them to deal with the duo efficiently. I usually start with the defender, just I feel like it's a bit easier. It takes like 7 to 8 hits to kill him. I don't really have any tips for this fight other than just be really patient with them, wait for them to attack. And usually I would tend to wait the Watcher to do his thing, and when he backflips away, I'm gonna deliver a hit or two to the defender. Once you have dealt with them, if you have any remaining bright bugs or anything that boosts your attack power, now it's time to use them. With Nasandra, just be patient. She can deal a lot of damage, but her attacks are really simple and she's quite slow. You can destroy the curse balls if you want, just rolling through them. You just have to be really precise, you have to be exactly in the middle of them when you roll through them, not before or too late. But the curse really don't do anything in this game. It's not like in Dark Souls 1. In this game it only makes you slightly more hollow, so you don't really need to mind them. I usually just destroy one of them and then deal with Nasandra. That's it! Now you have successfully completed the Dark Souls 2 in under 2 hours. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you find it useful or at least interesting enough to give me a like and subscribe. Consider checking my community page for my streaming schedule. Otherwise, thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.